One love to the humble, one love to the humble, one love to the humble. May grace and peace be multiplied unto you. I hope you're having a great day. I hope everything has been going great for you so far. And I hope it continues to go that way for you. But listen, it's something that I got to talk about. And it's something that runs heavy in our community. And what that thing is victimhood. You know, the victim mindset of I'm always a victim. They're always doing something to me. Man, look, at the end of the day, you can live your life however you see fit. At the end of the day, you know, nobody's gonna stop you from living your life. That's the beauty of living in this country. Unlike a lot of other countries out there in the world, you can live in this country however you see fit. Even if it goes against the moral fabric of of society, you still can do it. Even if people don't like it, you still can do it. You still can live however you want to live, and you can do whatever you want to do with your life. But I'm gonna tell you, man, to say that you are a victim all the time, to constantly find yourself in a situation where things are happening to you because you are a victim, it's not good for your soul. At some point, you got to be victorious. At some point, you got to be winning. And it's even worse when you're looking at victory, you're looking at being a victim on things that is not really happening to you in the way that the way that you see it. Your perception of things is your reality. So if I perceive something to be something, whether it is or not, it'll be real for me, whether that thing that I'm looking at is true or not. I make it true because that's my perception. A lot of the times, people are not bothered with you just because of your skin color. Sometimes it's just the way you acting, the things that you're doing is causing that problem. But it looks the perception you use when you say, well, it's only because of this color is why it's happening to me. And in most cases, that's not what it is. It's really just your attitude towards something. And a lot of us just have bad attitudes. Let's just be real. We've been conditioned by certain groups of us to think a certain way and to do things a certain way. And we take on that attitude. So if I keep telling you that this person is against you, this person don't like you, this person want to do this to you, they want to harm you, they want to take your life. If I keep telling you that enough times, it becomes real. So whenever you have an encounter with that said person that I told you don't like you and want to take your life, what you're going to respond with is negativity. And then that negativity is going to lead to you acting erratic. That erratic behavior is going to lead to some type of physical altercation. That physical altercation is going to lead to some type of situation where somebody's about to get hurt. Now, it could be you, it could be the other person. But if you're dealing with police or dealing with certain people, you could lose your life. They could lose theirs too, but you could definitely lose yours. And many people have lost their life. And when those people that lose their life behind those situations, nobody talks about the other side of the quarter. They only talk about the action that caused this person to lose their life. They don't talk about the action that led up to it. And usually it can be prevented. But we've been told to rebel. We've been told to be against these things. We've been told that following them is the wrong thing to do. And unfortunately, that's not true. We need to be following the laws of the land because that's what's going to get you out of trouble and get you back home. Now, are there exceptions to the rule? Of course. I'm not talking about no exceptions. The exceptions are so small in this matter that they are insignificant. But we keep trying to bring the small, insignificant things into a big situation that we have and using it as if it's the overall theme, but it's not. We know we look around, we see these videos all the time, we see how we acting. But if you can't see it, that means you are blinded just like they are. You are a victim just like they are. And people who are victims, your soul is being touched by being a victim. A person who loses constantly losing, that's not a happy person. It's not a person that's in good spirits. That's a real negative person. And it's even worse when the things that they're losing at is not even real. They creating it for themselves. That's what makes it even worse. When I actually have everything in my fingertips, when I actually have everything better than anybody ever that came before me, but yet somehow I find a way to be a victim. A person can go to school for 4 years at the top university and then say they still a victim. A person can reach the top level of executive at a company and still say, I'm a victim. People can have the top paying jobs, have the nice house, live in the nice neighborhoods, drive the nicest cars, got the finest clothes, eat the finest foods, and say, I'm a victim. Now, if you tell me that something's not wrong with that, then something's wrong with you. How can you be a victim when you're winning at everything? It's because of your perception. It's because of how you look at it. You like being a victim, and you will find a way to be a victim no matter what. That's no way to live. But I can't tell you how to live. You're going to live how you want to live. But that ain't no way to live. You see, you know that you can, but the negativity in you, the victimhood in you won't allow you to speak the truth. It won't allow you to see things for what they really are. It keeps you saying that you're losing when you're really not. And you can see that you're winning, but you won't admit it because the victimhood in you won't allow it. It's not good for your life. It's not good to condition the younger generation to come behind you to think like you, because you're hindering their progress. People that's got victim mentality, they're not really progressive. They're not progressive as in politically, but they're not progressing in life because that negativity, it's no way you can do positive things with a negative mindset. Even if everything you do positive with a negative mindset becomes negative. There's no way around that. And how do you change people's mindsets? They have to be convinced something different than what they're already convinced of. And with us, it's hard to convince us anything other than what we believe to be true. Because of some things that happened during a different era that we wasn't even alive in, that we don't really understand fully. Yes, there's videos. Yes, there's people talking. Yes, there's all these things. But until you live certain things, you have no real experience on what it really is. It's just word of mouth. If you wasn't actually there to see it take place. And even those who were there to watch it take place, those people still had a perspective. Now, whatever I trained your computer, your mind, to believe is what you're going to believe, no matter what. That's just the way it goes. If I tell you it enough times, even if I'm lying to you, it becomes the truth. That's just the way it goes. And then if somebody else come in and say, no, that's not true, this is true, you would not believe that other person because what they saying does not align with what you already believe. And once a person already believes something and then they get a counter to that belief, they're not going to trust it because they've been convinced of this thing here. They've been shown all the reasons why. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's a such thing as a self-fulfilling prophecy. And that's the condition that we live in on a day-to-day basis. We're looking for a reason to be a victim, not a reason to be victorious. And only people that have high spirits and good morale and motivated every day are people who are victorious. You're going to seek out more things to be victorious about. But a person who is suffering from victimhood or have a victim mentality, they can't seek that out. Their life is not as enjoyable. Their life is not as fun because their perception of what's going on is a bad perception. They don't see the things that they're doing. They can't see past the negativity because they've been convinced that somehow what they're doing is the way to go. But I'm here to tell you today, if you want to change your position, if you want to change your life, you're going to have to stop being a victim and understand that things just happen to us and things we just go through. Now, there are always the case where, yes, there is really something going on with somebody. There's really an issue. But majority of the times right now is self-inflicted. We're doing it to our own self. We're causing the situation to happen, and then we blame the other person for doing it. If you want to grow, you're going to have to let go of that mindset. And if you don't let go of that mindset, you're not going to have a good life. You're going to stay miserable, full of regrets, full of resentment. And that is one thing that will crush your soul. So you take it for what it's worth, and you do what you got to do. Y'all take care.